The rising tension between India and China, which cashed up after the irreconcilable clash between the nations in more than 4 decades, leaving at least 20 Indian soldiers dead, now crushing the economic trade relations among the neighboring nation. Indians' deep loss calls for boycotting goods imported from China. In latest, the government banned 59 Chinese mobile applications, including top social media platforms such as TikTok, Hello and WeChat, which is to counter the threat posed by these applications to the country's sovereignty and security. However, this is next to impossible as the two economies are intertwined. As, from supplying industrial components and raw materials to investments in India's startups and technology firms, China is India's biggest trading partner after the US. China accounted for over 5% of India's total exports in the financial year 2019-20 and more than 14% of imports. Meaning, India runs a huge trade deficit with China, the biggest exporter to India. While the absolute value of imports from our neighbor may have fallen, their share in the overall pie rose from 13.68% in the previous fiscal. India, according to state-backed Invest India data, 7th largest export destination for Chinese products. However, with voices of boycotting Chinese products increasing by the day, a number of sectors dependent on Chinese goods are now on the edge of bearing collateral damage. Here's a look at some key sectors that would be most affected. China serves as a lifeline for Indian pharmaceutical makers as 70% of active pharmaceutical ingredients are imported from China. Thanks to scale benefits, Chinese API manufacturers possess an advantage over India in terms of cost competitiveness. It is all clear to say that an import ban on Chinese pharma-related products would lead to supply chain disruptions for Indian firms. This, in turn, may mean adverse price movements, increasing costs for domestic firms. Domestic players such as Havells and Voltas have a close linkage with China. India is dependent on China for compressors, which forms 30 to 35% of the total cost of air conditioners. Interestingly, both the players have recently set up in-house manufacturing facilities to reduce import dependencies. China is a key supplier of sub-components used in engine, electrical, electronics, and tires. But the largest import is alloy wheels, which deliberately direct and indirect connection among the nations at significant level. China caters to a majority of smartphone demand in India and even globally. Therefore, any disruptions will delay the adoption of new technologies such as 5G. Further, it could also slow the pace of subscriber additions. Additionally, the network equipment market has just a handful of firms. Thus, if the disruptions arise, firms such as Bharti Airtel and Vodafone Idea could rise marginally. India imports a vast portion of its solar modules from China. If the curb imposed, the Renewable Energy Ministry's target of 100 gigawatts solar capacity may entail risks to delays. According to Motilal Oswal, India's import dependency from China for the raw materials ranges between 10 to 50% depending on the product portfolio. The specialty chemical sector has relatively lower dependency on China for raw material, Oswal added. On the export front, we think opportunities for Indian manufacturers are humongous if there is a sizable shift in opportunities from China to India. Giving a look at the India-USA trade, even after a good portion of India's current exports to the USA, which includes apparel, pharma, chemicals, vehicles and furniture except for a few sectors such as pharma, fish, sea creatures and carpets, exports from China are several times more than that of India. An estimation figures out of 1200 odd categories in which India exports to the US, there are 720 items where China caters to at least 10% of US imports. Here, the point is to emphasize that India's breathing opportunity is huge. Even if 5% of US imports shift from China to India in these categories, the opportunity size would surge to $140 billion. Other than the US, China's import trade with countries such as Japan, Australia and European Union ranges from 22 to 25%. Which signifies the gap between India and China in these markets a bit higher. And so, notwithstanding competition from Korea and Taiwan and Vietnam, Bangladesh and Thailand, opportunity is huge. Overall, this global reset of supply chains from Indian companies, depending on their individual strengths, is expected to bring a varied response. The overriding objective of the customers is to reduce their supply chain risk. To that extent, the driver of this new phase of globalization, unlike the one seen in the first decade of the 21st century, is to thrive on reliability rather than cost economics. We may see a wave of efforts across sectors aiming at backward integration and import substitution. We are also likely to witness immense export opportunities as the global supply sourcing diversifies. Having said that, there is a big asking rate for factor market reforms and competition of other destinations in Asia's Vietnam, Indonesia, and Bangladesh, which Indian policy makers and corporate India got to closely watch.